I was glad to turn the page on 2025. It was an extraordinarily difficult year for our state, and it ended on a particularly sour note.
Yeah, it did.
For the last several years, an organized group of criminals have sought to take advantage of this state's generosity. And even as we make progress in the fight against the fraudsters, we now see an organized group of political actors seeking to take advantage of a crisis.
If you truly cared about fraud, you would be grateful that a citizen journalist uncovered all of that fraud for free.
I don't want to mince words here. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and in St. Paul and online want to make our state a colder, meaner place. They want to poison our people against each other by attacking our neighbors.
If you take tax dollars from hardworking Americans and give it to Somali nationals, while the mayor of Minneapolis eats and dances with them, it seems like you guys are creating the division.
And ultimately, they want to take away much of what makes Minnesota the best place in the country to raise a family. They've already begun trying to withhold funds that were meant to help families afford child care.
Really? You're going to bring up child care?
And they have no intention of stopping there. Make no mistake, we should be concerned about fraud in our state government. We cannot effectively deliver programs and services if we can't earn the public's trust.
You don't deliver services. You deliver checks, and you don't verify the businesses that are supposed to be enacting services.
That's why over the past few years, we've made systemic changes in the way we do business. We've gone to the legislature time and time again to get more tools to combat fraud. We've hired people we fired people who weren't doing their jobs.
Freudian slip.
We've seen people go to jail for stealing from our state. We've cut off whole streams of funding in partnership with the federal government, where we saw widespread criminal activity. We've put new locks on the doors of our remaining programs, and we've hired a new head of program integrity to make sure that those locks can't be broken. All across this state, Minnesotans are hard at work on this problem. Advocates, administrators, investigators are on the front lines defending the integrity of our state's programs.
It would be easier to believe that if a 23-year-old didn't go door to door and find all this on his own.
And I want to give a very heartfelt thank you to all of them. There is more to do. A single taxpayer dollar wasted on fraud should be intolerable.
I did a full video on his $1 of tax fraud talking point. I'll add a link at the end of this video.
And while there's a role to play for everyone, from the legislature to prosecutors to insurance companies to local and county government, the buck does stop with me. My administration has been taking fast, decisive action to solve this crisis. We'll win the fight against the fraudsters. But the political gamesmanship we're seeing from Republicans is only making that fight harder. We've got Republicans here in the state legislature playing hide and seek with potential whistleblowers. We've got conspiracy theorist right-wing YouTubers breaking into our daycares, demanding access to our children.
What Tim Walz just did was moral panic framing. That line is intended to harm Shirley's reputation by implying criminal and predatory behavior. That's honestly really dangerous verbiage to use to discredit someone.
We've got the President of the United States demonizing our Somali neighbors and wrongfully confiscating funds that Minnesotans rely on.
Incredibly rightly confiscating those funds.
It's disgusting and it's dangerous. Republicans are playing politics with the future of this state. It's shameful, and I've said it before and I will continue to say it. We welcome ideas from anyone, in any party, from any walk of life, who wants to help us continue to stay ahead of these criminals. And we welcome the involvement of the federal government. I am grateful to the career professionals at the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI who have been helping us fight this fight for years. But I cannot abide the actions of the political leadership in Washington. These opportunists are willing to hurt our people to score cheap points. They and their allies have no intention of helping us solve this problem, and every intention of trying to profit off of it.
Sounds like y'all have been profiting off the American taxpayers.
Which brings me to this. 2026 is an election year. Election years have a way of ramping up the politics at a time when we simply can't afford more of that in Minnesota. In September, I announced that I would seek a historic third term as Minnesota's governor, and I have every confidence that if I gave it my all, we would win the race. But as I reflect on this moment with my family and my team over the holidays, I came to the conclusion that I can't give a political campaign my all. Every minute that I spend defending my own political interest would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who want to prey on our differences. So I've decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
What a takedown Nick Shirley did. I'm sure right now there's a lot of state leaders that are concerned about citizen journalists, so I really hope they all stay safe out there. That's a dangerous job. Now, hopefully, Minnesota can root out as much fraud as possible, get a better governor, and change their freaking flag back. Anyway, thanks for watching.